Warning, this video contains bright colors, flashing, and sped up clips. In the Cool Math mission, you have to play Treasure Hunter, 4 different levels of Fast Foodies, Escape the Phantoms, Checkers, A Puppy's Tale, and Phantom Dodger. The mission gives you the Cool Math badge and frame, a Cool Math desktop PC, a Cool Math laptop, and a Cool Math retro computer. Now that we know what games to play and what the prizes are, I'm going to go pick my first game, which is going to be Fast Foodies in the Juice Hut. I picked Fast Foodies because it's one of my favorite mini games. I went with the Juice Hut option because you have to complete levels 10 and 15 here. I do find it a little strange that they picked levels 10 and 15, like they just seem so random. But fun fact, whenever you complete level 10 for the first time, you do get a prize, so maybe that's why they did it, I don't know. After I completed those two levels, I went to the Cervipia Theater option to complete levels 1 and 5, which again, strange levels. But little side note, when you click on the games in the mission bar, they do refer to games on the Cool Math website. For Fast Foodies, they connected it to Papa's Pizzeria, Freezeria, Burgeria, and Cupcakeria. The next game I picked was Treasure Hunter. This one does have to be in the hard mode. I picked this one because I think the nanograms are fun, but this one was a little more difficult than I was expecting it to be. Right here, I thought I had the flag on, and I didn't, and so I messed it up, which was really annoying. But gotta keep going. For this game, they refer to the Cool Math game Hangman as they quote, "Hunt carefully and don't disturb the phantoms," much like the Beast in Hangman. The next game I decided to play was Escape the Phantoms. This is where the biggest part of my warnings jump in at. You have to get a score of 2,500, so this spot, even though it's sped up, is pretty long. For Escape the Phantom, they refer to the Cool Math game Moto X3M. In the mission, they quote, "Jump, race, and escape the phantoms like Moto X3M." I remember playing Moto X3M a lot as a kid. It was my favorite Cool Math game, but never once do I remember it being called Moto X3M. But I guess I never really looked at the title of these things. After that long, hellish clip of playing this game, I'm finally on to the next game, which I'm going to my boyfriend's den so we can play checkers together. When going in to play checkers, my boyfriend and I had no plan on to let each other win or who was going to win. We just played it like normal. For checkers, the Cool Math game that they tied with it, they said, quote, "Ready to deepen your strategy after checkers, try out chess." I did end up winning this first round playing together, so we did a rematch to give Cav a chance for his mission, and I guess we'll just have to see how he does. And would you look at that, he won. And like a sore loser, I chose not to rematch and leave. No. I was actually getting ready to play the next game, which I picked to be Phantom Dodger, which I later found out was a absolute horrible idea. I was never good at this game, as you can tell from my high score in the corner, but I didn't think it would be that hard. But as we can see from these mini tips, it was very hard for me to get any better at this game. Speaking of how hard this game is, the Cool Math game they put this game with is the world's hardest game, where they say, quote, "almost as difficult as the world's hardest game." And honestly, I would rather have been playing the world's hardest game right now, because I find it much easier than Phantom Dodger. After a few more attempts of playing Phantom Dodger, I eventually did decide to go take a break and finish the other game I needed for the mission, which is A Puppy's Tale. For this game, you can do any difficulty, you just have to complete level 5 on whichever one that you pick. So I went with medium because I find easy to be too slow, and medium I just felt was like that right in between that was not too hard but pretty easy to complete just for this mission. The Cool Math game that they picked for A Puppy's Tale is Fireboy and Water Girl, where in the mission spot it says, quote, "work together like Fireboy and Water Girl," which I think what they were getting at is that you and the puppy work together, which I think is pretty cute. Unfortunately, my break from Phantom Dodger was short spent. After A Puppy's Tale, my only game left was Phantom Dodger, so I had no choice but to play it again. I came back to playing the game repeatedly, wishing I was playing the world's hardest game instead. Since I was playing for so long, my recording did stop, so I couldn't film my big win, So here's a screenshot of it instead. Now that the games are done and the mission is completed, here I am claiming all my prizes. Then I'll put on the badge and frame to show off how they look. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. How did you enjoy this mission? I found it pretty fun, besides Phantom Dodger.